To install the safety selector and pistol grip, you'll need a large flathead screwdriver with a shaft at least 3.5 inches in length and your lower receiver vise block. First, your hammer should be cocked to the rear position. If it's not, place your hand on the hammer and push it down while keeping your finger off the trigger. Don't allow the hammer to slam forward, it can damage the receiver. Insert the safety selector into the left side of the receiver with it pointing to the safe position. Place the receiver upside down on the lower receiver vise block. Now drop the detent in with the rounded tip facing in. Install the selector spring into the hole in the pistol grip. Retain the spring with your finger as you guide the spring into the passage for the safety detent while pushing the pistol grip onto the lower receiver. Place the grip screw with the washer into the bottom of the grip. Tighten the screw down to hold everything together. Now that you have all the components of the fire control system installed, you can test them. First, we're going to confirm the function of the safety. With the hammer cocked back and the safety selector set to safe, pull the trigger back with your hand lightly placed on top of the hammer to control it if it releases. The hammer should not be released. Next, keeping your hand on the hammer, rotate the safety to fire. Now squeeze the trigger. The hammer should be released. Remember not to allow the hammer to fall under its own force. The hammer should only be released when the trigger is pulled. With the hammer forward and the trigger pulled to the rear, push the hammer back down all the way until it engages the disconnector. Now release the trigger and let it travel forward while holding the hammer lightly. You should feel and see the hammer disengaging from the disconnector and move forward slightly until it engages the trigger sear. In the final segment of function testing, we'll go over a couple live fire tests that you'll need to perform as well. If your fire control system has operated as described, then you're ready to move on to installing the buttstock. If you encounter any problems while performing the test, make sure you have assembled the fire control system as we've shown you. If you still have issues, consult the manufacturer or Brownells, or take your lower receiver to a gunsmith more familiar with the AR-15.